today's cup of coffee. Alien spacecraft particles.
Where?
And I actually have combined two articles. And the first, both of them from Daily Mail, both of them by Matthew Phelan. And one was, I'm just, like I said, I'll include the link so that you can read that one for you. But the headline on that from June 28th of 2023 was, remnants of an alien spacecraft may have been found at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean by Harvard physicists who believes Oumuamua.
Who?
That's something people from the mountains. It sounds like a 1950s, doo-wop song. Believed that it was an ET craft that had passed by Earth in 2017. And then, so today's article on July the 6th.
Oh.
Oh. What are you over there eating?
I was eating Raisinets.
That's why I told you don't eat those things.
I wanted the Raisinets.
Not while we were recording. God help. Anyhow, so the gist of this is that this scientist went after the remains of a Oumuamua. We're gonna pick it up there. Yeah, you've got to do the bass singer voice on that one.
I can't go that low.
And it says that tiny metal fragments recovered from an interstellar object that crashed into the Pacific Ocean appear artificial in origin, scientists say. It was from an asteroid, and that kind of sort of little bit artificial.
They can be in disguise.
Well, that's what this dude is claiming. It really is. A Harvard duo recovered 50 unusual iron spheres.
Camouflage.
After tracking down the unidentified object known as IM1.
IMDb.
I do so wish that they would go back to another font that doesn't make I's and L's and often ones appear the same.
I wish they would just name it actual shit rather than just giving it like letters and numbers. What happened to Pluto?
Yeah. It's a planet, damn it. It's got a moon. It's got
its own moon.
And
it's a planet. Just because it's small doesn't mean it doesn't have status. It's just quiet.
IM1 was off the coast of Papua New Guinea last week as part of a $1.5 million underwater search mission. And now, are they truly trying to find this stuff, or do they want the monies for a sea cruise?
They want the money for the sea cruise.
Because if you could, would you? I probably would.
Does the chicken have a pecker? Of course I would.
It says that new lab analysis of the mental spheres. God, yeah.
Mental spheres.
Lord,
we have been in the mental spheres for a minute. For a hot minute.
Mm-hmm. And shows no signs of us stopping.
God.
New lab analysis of the metal spheres reveals they are anomalous and stronger than any observed meteor produced by nature, according to Professor Avi Loeb, former chief of Harvard's astronomy department, who led the research. Professor Loeb, who has been dubbed the alien hunter of Harvard.
Loeb.
I'm sure that he appreciates that. I'm sure that's not said as a term of endearment.
I'm sure they hate his guts.
I'm sure they do. Told DailyMail.com, quote, this composition is anomalous compared to human-made alloys, known asteroids, and familiar astrophysical sources, end quote. So it is an oddity. NASA says that IM1 almost certainly came from outer space, making it Earth's first known interstellar visitor, and crashed into the the ocean in
the
2014. I've got cat distracting me.
They crashed into the aphids.
But it was only detected by Professor Loeb and Harvard researcher Amir Siraj in a retrospective analysis.
Loeb. What kind of name is Loeb? Does he have huge earlobes?
Loeb? I don't know. I didn't see a picture of the man. It says the Harvard pair agree that their new results support the likelihood that IM-1 was artificial in origin and have refused to rule out that it was part of an interstellar spacecraft made by aliens. So they're sort of sticking to their guns on this.
Yeah, I mean, they've been talking about aliens for a minute, though.
Mm-hmm.
So,
no, well, not at Harvard. They're just, indoctrinating people to become aliens.
They've been talking about it underground, like behind the scenes.
Okay. And
they have.
Probably. Siraj, who first discovered IM-1, told DailyMail.com, quote, "It's really important to continue pushing the boundary in terms of destigmatizing the search for extraterrestrial life. If you don't consider a possibility, you usually won't discover something new," end quote. Kudos for him.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah.
To think outside the box on some of these things. IM-1,
that's what we need.
Absolutely. IM-1 withstood 4 times the pressure that would typically destroy an ordinary iron metal meteor as it hurtled through the Earth's atmosphere at 215,000 miles per hour. It's a long-ass way. It's been a long-ass week. Kids looking at me, it's like...
So it's going to be a hot minute before it hits us, and y'all are still shooting its ass?
No, it's already done. It's already done. It's already... Track with me.
Well, I'm trying, but you're bouncing all over the place, Mama.
I am. I should have put some rum in my coffee.
You should have took your medicine.
I did take my medicine. It just wasn't enough.
You need to up your medicine.
I do. Iron is already the principal ingredient in the toughest known kinds of natural meteors. So the Harvard duo has theorized that there must be something highly unusual about how the object came to be made. And now a battery of tests on the recovered IM-1 fragments conducted at Berkeley has proven that their chemical makeup is almost entirely iron. Strong evidence in favor of the Harvard team's most controversial theories about the object. Professor Loeb told Daily Mail, told Daily Mail, come on guys, quote, "More than 95% of all meteorites contain iron-nickel metal. As a consequence, meteorites have concentrations of nickel that are much greater than that of nearly any terrestrial rock," end quote. In contrast, these standard iron-nickel meteorites, the IM-1 fragments, contained only negligible amounts of nickel alongside other trace elements.
Uh-huh.
So it was unusual. It is unusual.
Yeah.
Professor Loeb has courted controversy as well as millions in independent financing over his quest to identify outer space materials like this, material that could serve as physical evidence or artifacts of an alien civilization probing our solar system. Aliens and probing really shouldn't be used in the same sentence.
Right.
It has bad connotations.
I do not got an anal, bro.
Last year, in March of 2022, scientists and classified tech with U.S. Space Command confirmed Professor Loeb and Siraj's 2019 calculations on IM-1's interstellar trajectory, reporting in an official letter to NASA that they were 99.999% sure that the object came from outside our solar system.
And it's very possible.
So that's pretty damn cool. And the Galileo project's critics in the world of astronomy and astrophysics had expressed skepticism over the notions that IM-1 might be interstellar or composed of entirely iron metal. But on both of these details, their skeptics have been proven wrong. I love it when the skeptics are proven wrong.
I think we all do.
There's a huge difference between healthy skepticism and those that are cynical assholes.
Yeah. The actual skeptics aren't assholes.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a question.
Usually.
It's just a question. It's always good to have a little bit of skepticism. I don't know if it's ever good to have that much cynicism.
Right.
Professor Loeb and his team have learned that iron is the dominant constituent of the IM1 sphere's chemical makeup, thanks first to some initial on-ship analysis and now the new, more thorough analysis conducted at the University of California, Berkeley. The findings are a solid rebuke to astrophysicists with Canada's Institute for Earth and Science Exploration, who argued that their computer modeling of IM1's behavior before impact strongly argues against an iron object. So a little more vindication for Loeb and Siraj. Yeah. Siraj expressed hope that further work on IM1 will help destigmatize research in new fields of science, not just the search for extraterrestrial life. He said, quote, interstellar objects themselves shouldn't be controversial, but they're sometimes perceived as controversial because it's a new field, end quote. Galileo's IM1 samples were tested via inductivity-coupled plasma mass spectrometry.
Yes.
Yeah, that's something you have to say every day. To better determine whether or not its ratio of iron isotopes matched what typically is found in our solar system, or if the isotopes were themselves anomalous. And the Berkeley test also included an analysis of the microscopic shape details or morphology of the spheres using a scanning electron microscope, as well as a deeper investigation into the sphere's chemical makeup via energy dispersive X-ray spectroscopy. I'm on a cookie for that one. I do.
I don't know what you just said. That is above my pay grade.
They tested the stuff. Although more work remains to be done with the data collected from all this equipment, the Galileo team report that the results so far, quote, hint at the interstellar origin suggested by the measured IM1 velocity, end quote, at first calculated by Siraj in 2019 and proven by U.S. Space Force in 2022. Although the behavior and fragments of IM1 do not resemble the vast majority of known meteors and asteroids, Professor Loeb and Siraj noted that they must consider at least one possible means by which IM1 could have been naturally made by the cosmos. Distant supernova, or supernovae, that's probably the plural, I'm not sure on that, exploding stars at the end of their existence have been theorized to launch iron-rich bullets, as suggested by past radio and X-ray observations by astronomers, including Professor Loeb in the early 1990s. IM1 could still prove to be a highly unusual but natural iron bullet launched from an exploding star. Okay. That would still be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That really would. And according to Professor Loeb, quote, the fundamental question is whether the meteor was natural or technological in origin. We hope to answer this question by further analysis of its isotopic composition and radioactive dating, end quote. But IM1 was not the only object that Siraj and Professor Loeb discovered that showed an interstellar trajectory. Professor Loeb said that either IM1 or the second object IM2, the third strongest meteor in NASA's CNEOS Fireball catalog. They could write this better. They really could.
They really could.
May move fast and are tough because they are artificial in origin, namely chemically propelled interstellar spacecraft, end quote. I will wrap this up then. The objects, Professor Loeb said, could be like our own interstellar probes, but launched 1 billion years ago. Siraj told DailyMail.com that he is even more optimistic about the potential success with their second hunt for physical evidence from an interstellar object. IM2, he said, was much larger than IM1 at 8 times the mass, and it was traveling much more slowly through Earth's atmosphere when it splashed into the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of Portugal. He said, quote, there's a higher chance of finding larger fragments from that one, end quote. The Galileo project will hopefully be dredging up samples from this second interstellar object within the next couple of years. Okay, to break this all down, you've got these two dudes, and that they surmise that some of the things floating around in space are not asteroids or whatever. And the reason they picked the Oumuamua thing was because that it was flat. It did not look like a normal asteroid floating rock thingy.
It was flat.
It was. It was flat. And so that was
Like
where...
a pancake?
Well, not totally flat, but it was flat and elongated.
Like a pill.
Almost. No, it was flatter than that.
Oh.
And so they were surmising that very well could have been possibly fragment of some kind of spaceship.
It could be.
And so when it fell, that was what they were trying to do, was to go and search for, and it took them quite a bit of effort. You know, I shortened the article, I didn't read it verbatim, to find where this object landed in the ocean, because the ocean's rather vast. And the fact that they found anything, you know, and it wasn't like they were looking to find some kind of large sheet of metal or any of this stuff like that. But the fact that they are open-minded enough to think, okay, there's the possibility that fragments of some kind of spacecraft could be out there and could be falling back to Earth.
Could be.
And then there's the whole, you know, sea cruise thing to go along with it.
Yeah.
But I thought it was actually pretty cool. At first I thought, yeah, maybe they're just full of shit and they're just trying to get the monies and stuff. But from reading this, these guys are serious about this, and that they are challenging the status quo, which is what actual science is supposed to be about. You know.
Yes.
That was like when we were reporting the other day about the different magnetic effects in the sun and different things like that, and how that they had missed the fact that the sun is going into solar maximum sooner was because they're using models that are 30 years old rather than keeping up to date with what's going on.
And they got the fucking technology.
Sure they
do. It's
do.
not that they're not keeping up with it, it's that they're not releasing it to most people.
Well, it's not even that. What it is, you have people that they become very pompous, especially in academic settings, that they believe that they know all there is to know about a subject, which is really bad for science.
Yeah.
You know, you're supposed to go in with an open mind, but when you're going in with an open mind up against the brick walls who think they know everything, this is why things don't get done. And the arrogance and the hubris of some of these people is just beyond belief. So for these guys to stand their ground and challenge some of that, absolutely. Yeah. So I wish them great success, and I hope they did enjoy their sea cruise.
Yeah.
And it would be cool, even if it is just bits of an exploding nova or whatever it was. That's still pretty fucking awesome.
I mean, I hope it is. I low-key hope it is. Because if it's actual aliens, oh shit, they gonna be pissed off that we blew up one of their spacecrafts.
Well, and he said that even as far as if it was some kind of a spaceship remnant, that it could have been from billions of years ago. You know, we act like that what we know is all that has ever been. And I think that's kind of a naive way to think about the universe and the earth and everything else.
There's so much that we don't know.
Oh my God, we don't even know enough to ask a question as a species.
Legit.
Yeah. And it seems like as time goes on, the dumber people are getting.
For real.
They don't want to question, and they don't want anybody else to question.
No. Sheep.
Well,
sheep.
Slavery.
Sheep.
They want strong backs and slow brains. That's exactly what they want. Yeah, sort of. So, but I thought that was pretty cool.
Sheep.
I like the fact that they got to tell some of their colleagues to sit down and shut up. I wonder if they got the spinny chair and did the razor fist. Fuck you, I was right. Fuck you, I was right.
Fuck you, I was right. Fuck you. I hope so. Oh, I hope so.
in their academic
It's
way.
not just him that did it. It's not just Razor Fist that did
But he
it.
does it so well. He really
There's
does.
a lot of people that do it well. It's a good look.
It is a good look. It is a good look.
It's like that frying pan. It's a good look.
Final thoughts on possibility of discovering alien bullets. Alien bullets, we'll call it that.
Damn.
Yeah.
Aliens.
Well, I think that, again,
That's it.
this was one more of those. They're keeping this about aliens and UFOs and stuff in the eye of the public almost daily now.
At this point.
Yeah. And I don't know if that's total distraction. I mean, there's a lot of distractions that are needed
It's
right
both
now.
a distraction technique and...
Self-disclosure.
Yeah.
It very well could be. Because
It's not even soft disclosure,
It's
Mama.
one of those.
It's hard disclosure.
Because between the two stories, it's like, oh, UFO thing, or they found, a baggie of cocaine at the White House. Which one am I going to read? I want to read about the UFOs because I'm tired of reading about the shit that's going on up there in our nation's capital.
Yeah.
It's just beyond. This is part of the shaming and demoralizing ritual. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to play that. Then there was the possibility that the lady saw the reptilian on the airplane and had gone off the other day. Mudahar was talking about that on Some Ordinary Gamers. You'll have to go and hear his take on it. And the poor little guy in the green hoodie, who everybody will be looking for now. It's like, are you or are you not a reptilian?
He didn't look normal.
Oh my God. How would you like to be known that your humanity is in question? The most
In question of your
world?
humanity.
I've questioned
Your
my
humanity
for
is in
years.
question.
I've always told y'all I'm not from this planet and I don't do well here. I've always told you that. But at least nobody has accused me of being a reptilian.
Alien!
Yes.
Alien!
But it's not that
I got told that, I gotta touch a demon in.
Well, that's true. But anyhow, no, you just had undiagnosed food allergies. Don't give your small children's, artificially...
Undiagnosed ADHD.
Don't give them artificially colored things, especially red or blue.
Especially if they got ADHD.
Oh, God, yeah. That's like, That's
Crack!
That's kitty crack. It's exactly what that stuff
Pixie
is.
sticks.
Pixie sticks.
That's a crack stick right there.
Sit there, let them spin. Watch them spin.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Or those fun dip things.
Oh, but we lived.
Yeah.
I lived. You lived. And we can laugh about it now. That's the fun part, is laughing about it years later. Final thoughts on Oumuamua.
Oumuamua. Oumuamua. That's it.
Okay. If you've had experiences with paranormal or supernatural encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, you can send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. And the email address is there in the description box, as will the links to the articles. Those will be there also.
Yeah, and if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and most of all, subscribe and click that notification button for daily notifications of our daily uploads. Thank you all, and have a good.
Know that you're loved.
Mm-hmm.
Learn to laugh at the idiocy, because you might as well.
Yes.
It ain't gonna stop for a while, folks. Just, refuse to participate.
Yes.
And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.